on Facebook.
Ready for the slide? Good morning, Facebook. Hey, family. Just inviting you to get your fingers ready, do whatever stretching of those digits so that you can be typing away as we have this conversation about blood in and blood out. Good morning, family. Grab pen and paper if you wish, but this is more of an exploration. So I'd rather have your mind, heart, and spirit tuned in than you writing and being in headspace. We know you have beautiful minds. We want to bring the other intelligences into the room. So welcome this morning. This is Coach, Healer, Shawnee Benton Gibson. I'm going to admit the Zoom family. Greetings and good morning, family. Greetings.
Peace and blessing, Sister Shawnee.
Hey,
Good morning.
hi.
Hello.
Good morning, Inez. I'm so happy you're here.
Yes, thank you.
I hope I didn't wake you up out of your sleep with my text message.
Girl, no, it's still dark out here.
All right.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning here.
Ah, man, I didn't know you were on a different time zone, but I'm so glad that you sacrificed sleepy time to be with us. So welcome, beloved.
Thank you.
All right. So as I was sharing with the Facebook family before the Zoom crew came in, that you can grab pen and paper, but this is more about sketching conversation on your heart and in your spirit and opening up the way for you to experience the downloads that only a conversation about the blood can provide. So, whatever works for you, you are free to take notes, but really it's about being in the space. So, welcome to day number 268 of the Wake Up Everybody virtual community. I am super psyched to have this conversation and simultaneously anxious because this is a big conversation. This is a big space to hold. And I don't have to wear the shoes by myself like all of you are going to jump in and it'll be a tight fit. But I love that y'all are going to walk the journey with me. So I'm going to ask if you could mute if you're unmuted so that we can keep the audio clean. Thank you, Free. Yay! Welcome to Hun to the space.
I'm so sorry.
All right. If you came in, welcome to day number 268 of the Wake Up Everybody virtual community. This is Coach, Healer, Shawnee Benton Gibson. Welcome.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, we're leading, connecting. transforming together, together.
Hey, family. Welcome again to day number 268 of the Wake Up Everybody virtual series. I am so happy to be with all of you. If you're just arriving in the space this morning, thank you for being here. Thank you for carving out time in your sleep schedule or cycle. Some of us are just waking up and others have been up for a while. I thank you for the sacrifice. I thank you for the co-creation. For those of you who have been joining us day after day for almost a year, I acknowledge you as well. This is coach, healer, mother, friend, jokester, all of the layers that make me who I am. Shawnee Benton Gibson, daughter of Kenneth and Jill. And because we're talking about blood in, blood out, letting the sacred flow, I just want to tell you that Jill's cycle, Jill's menstrual flow was the product of my landing on the planet. And so was your mother. So was your mother. So this conversation today, and I'm just going to ask the admin team if you could spotlight me. This conversation today is going to be full and robust and bloody in a great sense, and is also going to provide us an opportunity to reclaim and transform our relationship with the blood, specifically menstrual flow. So all week, this week, we've been having conversations about the blood or manifesting different dynamics that speak to the blood in different forms. So we had Purple opening up the space and amplifying moving the energy and the flow of the blood through her communication conversation the other day around hip hop. Wow, like it's in our blood to move and flow on that level. And then we had a conversation, we had movement with Kadeem yesterday, and he got the blood pumping and moving with Beyonce's energy and flow. Thank you, admin team. And so today I'm just going to take it to the next level, and then we will keep having this conversation unfold. So how we're going to start is by acknowledging ancestry. How we're going to start is by honoring the women in this space who have experienced menstrual flow, blood rights, the full cycle, the mooning, the flowering that we're going to unpack and discover more things about today. And today will be interactive, experiential. There will be some slides, but I move with spirit. So if they tell me, Shawnee, no slides, then there will not be that. There will be conversation and engagement with all of you. That includes the awesome wonders on Facebook. So whatever you need to do, Facebook family, to be full blown in this conversation, please do that. And we always invite you, and Charmaine can put the link in the Zoom space to join us in this space so that you can have your voice be heard and your experience be amplified by being in this room with us as we unpack and explore blood in, blood out, letting the sacred flow. All righty. So I would like for us to put up the first slide, and let's see what Spirit has in store for us. All right. So what Spirit gave me last night as I was preparing is that we need to do a salute to water and blood, right? I'm big on the 4 elements. We all have all 4 of the elements in our bodies. They're part of everything in the universe. And so blood is a manifestation of water, and water amplifies the blood. So we would be remiss if we did not speak of both as we have a conversation about menstrual flow. So right now, our blood is moving through our bodies. Right now, we are experiencing aliveness because of what blood can do. Blood is a powerful conduit. Blood is an amplifier. Blood is a spiritual principle. Blood is a ritual element. And so is the water. The water guides and provides for us. and it keeps us alive. Without full-blown water, I think we can only live like 3 weeks without water intake. And if our blood stops flowing, we're done, right? And if it's not flowing properly, we are unhealthy. So the combination of the blood and the water gives us life, gives us opportunity, gives us possibility, transforms things. So we acknowledge our moon time, which is the form of blood moving through us for those of us who are still menstruating, because not every sister in this space is. We acknowledge that right now. So I'm going to ask for the sisters who are willing in the space, if anyone is experiencing her moon time, if anybody is experiencing blood flow in the form of menstrual cycling right now, please do acknowledge yourself. You can unmute yourself and just say me. If anybody is, we want to acknowledge you for bringing that life and that zest into the space. And on Facebook, you can just say, raise your hand, say I'm flowering, I'm on my moon time, I'm on my cycle, whatever words you want to use to amplify and celebrate. We invite you to do that right now. So is anybody experiencing blood flow, blood rights right now? Thank you.
Me.
Audrey Jane, thank you. And what do you want to call it this morning? Even if you didn't think about this before, you get a chance to name and reclaim your blood flow. So what do you call your cycle?
I would say release.
Oh, Ashe. Thank you for your releasing experience and the ritual of blood flow in your body. Thank you, or from your body. Who else? Anybody else? Hands up on your moon time? Was Audrey Jane gonna hold us up and down this morning? Sienna raised her hand. Yeah. So Sienna, unmute yourself and tell us what you call, or you can declare it today, your flow, your moon time.
I don't call it anything other than that, girl. No, I'm joking. I don't have a particular name for it. I just normally call my cycle or what have you, but I don't call it anything. My mom used to call it Aunt Flo, back in the day. So we'll go with Aunt Flo this morning.
Yeah, I consider you to be a wordsmith. We've spoken one good time, like on the phone, and then our energies connected, and it was a beautiful thing. So because you are an artist and a wordsmith, what do you want to name it today? And it might just be for this session, because you're hosting a breakout room for me to support the process and the community. What do you want to name it today and claim it as?
Well, okay, I'm gonna just go with what Spirit just said to me, which was Crimson Tide, but I don't know if that's what I really want to stick with. So that's evolving. I have to think. I guess this is a great conversation because maybe I separate myself from it so much so that I haven't identified, you know what I'm saying, like a name to call it specifically from myself. You know what I mean? But that's where I'm at right now, is Crimson Tide.
Ashe, thank you so much for that. And if something else emerges as we have this conversation, please do let us know. I'm also going to invite the sisters in the space who are still menstruating, because not all of us do. I no longer menstruate. I miss my menstrual cycle. I get sad about it. It's like, I wish once I discovered what it was about, what it really was, which we will unpack in this conversation. I'm feeling emotional now. I was like, oh my God, I just got to know you and you're gone. So if you're still menstruating, what do you want to call it? Because you get to say how this goes and flows, literally and figuratively. What do you want to claim and name your cycle today? And then we're going to do a little bit more saluting in a different way. What Spirit gave me last night, I was just like, yes. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. And I want to keep this image up a little while longer, because look at these beautiful sisters all dressed in white. Their hair adorned, they have their locks, they're tuned in, they're turned up. And I just like this image of women celebrating their sacred time. And I'll say more of this later. Like, we synchronize on our blood flow when we live in the same space or we're interacting a lot. We're so fucking dope. And our bodies are so magical that we sync up when we're around one another regarding our cycles. So women who don't even know each other, if we come in the same space and we're around each other and living and breathing and growing and co-creating together, we'll start to sync our cycles up. Amazing, amazing. So sisters, if you're still menstruating but not today, put the name, what you want to name and claim your cycle to be in the space. And then the admin team will just call those names out, Nija. And if you're no longer menstruating, what do you want to call that experience before? And I even invite you to name what your experience is now, right? So, what comes up for me is the same name for both. My cycle when it was on, and then now that I no longer bleed, I've not bled since I was 46. So I went through my menopause at a young age. What came to me just now is a river runs through me. A river runs through me. That's the name that I claim in this space. A river runs through me. And now that I no longer cycle, I feel like the blood is internally flowing. My intuition is amped up, and a river still flows through me, but now it's more internal than external. So please do place the names in Sis Star's claim. Sienna, I see your hand up. Is it up to say something else, or is that from earlier?
My bad. I just didn't take it down. Sorry about that.
It's all good. All good. All right. So I would love to hear some of the names from Nija, and then also Charmaine, if there's anything in Facebook, if you can share. And then I'm going to deepen this experience of setting the foundation for our blood in, blood out conversation. So anything in the chat?
Sure, Shawnee. There are a few things in the chat. Love is here. My friend, sacred reminder, soul sister, and that time has been all shared in the chat. Charmaine, has there been anything shared in Facebook?
Yes, what's being shared in Facebook so far is the fact that a few of us don't have our periods and are mourning the fact that they don't have it. Candace Harper says, I love my cycle. Actually, where am I? All right. No, she says, I love my, damn, they type in so fast. I love my cycle. I will mourn her loss and name her abundant flow. So Candace still has her cycle. Sharice Booker said, I used to call my cycle, thank you.
Mm.
Oh my gosh, they're just flowing.
All right. I love
Because
that.
the experience of my cycle was pain before my menses came on.
Yeah, we're going to all this morning. And so thank you, sis stars and brothers in the space. You know, we have John on the admin team. You can rename and reclaim what the menstrual flow means for you, because there are so many brothers who disengage from the conversation about menstrual cycle and flow. And I know John is a father of a daughter, and John's daughter got here because the woman he co-created with, Destiny's mom, had a cycle and flow. John's mother had a cycle and flow. So all men should celebrate that women have menstrual flow and cycle, because if she didn't, you wouldn't be here. If they didn't, you wouldn't be here. So, John, you can also name and claim or rename your understanding of the menstrual flow, the blood rights, the moon time, the flowering for yourself and for the sisters in your life, and also the sisters that are in this space. So if you're just joining, welcome to the conversation about blood in and blood out. If there are other sisters or brothers that you believe need to be in this conversation, I encourage you to invite. Forget that it's early morning. Don't make that up. They will choose if they want to be in this space or not being in this space. We invite you to engage in the process of being generous with folks so that we can transform our relationships with blood, with the blood, with the blood. So I said I was going to do a little bit more foundation setting. I want us to think about the most powerful women that we know, those that are famous and those that are famous for us because we have relationships with them, our aunties, our grandmothers, please place their names in the chat. Please place their names in the chat. Any woman, it could be one, several, however many women you want to put in the chat, and we're going to do something in honor of them. So place those names in the chat, and I will name a few. I already named my mother, Jill. I want to name my grandmother, Joyce. I want to name my great grandmother, who is Cheney. I want to name my great great grandmother, who is Trellis. And I don't know the names after that, but guess what? I know they existed. That a womb and 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 a womb bled. And here I am, 52 years old and smoking and here in this life manifesting in real time and space. Because a womb and 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 a womb bled and manifested baby after baby after baby until I landed. So here I am, and here you are. Let's name those sisters. Let's name them and claim them, and also claim their blood rights. Amazing, amazing. And so we want to honor them today. So, Nigel, if you could say some of those names.
Sure, sure. Let me go up to the top where it started. There are so many. Darylyn, Cassandra, Linda, Luvinia, Maya Angelou, Dorina, Georgine Burke, Ham, Auntie, Audrey, Sunny, Daisy, Connie, Hattie Mae,
Mm,
Myrtle,
yes,
Mamie,
yes.
Maria,
Yes,
Estelita,
mm,
Gladys,
yes.
Rose, Awoya, Nora, Phyllis, Willie Mae, Hazel, Mother Betty, Auntie Tina, Grandmother Mary, Great Grandmother Montez, Lucille Russell, Marty Webb, Maddie Love Webb May, Marsha May Wilson Linda Say. I can continue, Shawnee. There are more.
We get it. I feel the energy in my body. I also feel that the community is feeling something on an emotional level and a spiritual level, just putting in the names. Charmaine, thank you for adding the Facebook names. Ladies and gentlemen, these women bled. They bleed if they're still with us. Cycle after cycle, manifestation after manifestation. They bled. We honor them. We celebrate them. Whether they were celebrated for their blood rights and blood works, we do, and we claim that now. Some of us, all of us, are here because a woman bled, because she had her cycle. And so we celebrate that. And I want to point to something that Spirit gave to me last night as I shared. Cicely Tyson bled. Harriet Tubman bled. All of these phenomenal women, Shirley Chisholm bled. Maya, who was in the chat, bled. Maya Angelou bled. Oprah Winfrey bled. She's now a seasoned wise woman. So she was doing those shows. Sometimes she was on her cycle. She had her period, and she was manifesting, giving gifts away, and doing all the stuff that she does. Women lead while they bleed. They lead while they bleed, and they're dope as fuck. And when we forget that and forget the power of the blood, we miss out. For many years, I didn't understand the power of my blood, and I missed out. I missed out on opportunities to do ritual, to engage in the sacredness of this body, to tune into spirit, to get messages to move me forward, to get messages to take me back. I missed out. And then once I discovered it, and I can't remember, it might have been, when did I discover? Less than 10 years that I got a chance to work the magic of my blood. We are amazing. We are amazing. Women lead while they bleed. So I'm going to ask that we put the slide up, the next slide.
Yes, Shawnee, I'm getting that for you.
Thank you. So while we do that, if Nigel can read some of the comments, not the names that are in the chat, and also any from Facebook, while we prepare for the next piece. So the next slide, thank you, John, so much. I love that you're supporting as a brother.
Yes. So Shawnee, some of the comments in the chat are, Alexa says, I love that you call it moon time. Going to adopt that.
Okay.
Jacqueline says she wishes that there were consistent rituals in her family.
Thank you.
Several people dropped in the chat, women lead while they bleed.
Ashe. So let's talk about that. Thank you so much. So for somebody who actually restated what I shared about lead while we bleed, I would love to hear your voice at this time. And I'm going to utilize your voice for two reasons, just for you to share what that means for you. Women lead while we bleed. And then you can help me out by reading this slide. So who is willing to join me in this space so that we can co-create voice to voice, heart to heart, womb to womb?
So I and Sienna dropped it in the chat. So let's invite Sienna to come off of mute if she's willing.
Yes, I'm definitely willing. That women lead while they bleed, Shawnee, my comment before that was you better create a conference for women centered around our menstrual cycles. No, for real, like this is co-creating at its best. There's like a national period day sometime in, I think like September or October or something around there. And why not do a conference for women and girls or people that are discussing, you know what I mean, all of these concepts, because we don't talk about this at all. And it's just everything that you're doing, I feel so like invigorated and yet like soothed and connected to my inner like ancestors and spirit. Yeah, keep going, please. I really don't want you to stop. So you're teaching, so please keep teaching.
Yes, thank you. And I'm sorry we can't see your face in your share, but we'll, try to move the slides in and out so that we can see everyone, because we want to see sisters and brothers as we talk about this so that we can normalize the conversation like you're just speaking of. And October 19th is National Menstrual Day, and it speaks about equity around our menstrual flow. And I say decolonizing the conversation about our flow, because it's a patriarchal conversation, and it's also a very colonizing the sense of whiteness conversation, what white males have said about women's cycles, and how Black bodies and brown bodies have been utilized to forward commerce on the backs of women. And we've been demonized and then also used to create economics. It's crazy how that goes. But Sienna, if you could read this slide for me, that would be great.
Yes, got it. Menstrual blood is the only source of blood that is not traumatically induced. Yet in modern society, that is the most hidden blood, the one so rarely spoken of and almost never seen, except privately by women.
Got that. And so I would love to hear another voice, and we can let's keep the slide up. Just read it again for us, Sienna, one more time, and then we can have a conversation with a couple of women around this, because I want to hear voices.
Sure. Menstrual blood is the only source of blood that is not traumatically induced. Yet in modern society, this is the most hidden blood, the one so rarely spoken of and almost never seen, except privately by women.
Yes, and that's a quote by Judy Grahn. And thank you so much. Let's take this down. I want to hear from sisters about what you think about this. What do you think about this? Nefertiti, I see your hand is up. You can unmute. It might be about this or about something that I said previously. So feel free to flow in the direction that you wish.
Good morning, sisters. Good morning, Sister Shawnee. I wanted to share that. So I grew up, my father was a traditional African priest, and he really transformed. I shared it in the chat, but I wanted to say he transformed something that is generally considered a repressive culture, even though that's not the way it started. But so when you're on your period, you're not, I would say you're not allowed, but you're not allowed to like cook for any of the priests. You're not allowed to like touch any of the, of the sacred objects or anything like that. And and in my grandmother's time, they used to separate them, and the women used to live in a separate hut. And this, my grandmother talked to me about this. But what's interesting in my family, like my father really made it clear. And I know, like when I would tell friends about it, like when they would come over and they would see my father cooking, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm on my flow, so I'm not cooking this week, so my father's cooking. So he really transformed it into like a period where I was resting and I didn't do anything around the house. And so it felt like I was being pampered for that week. It didn't feel like anything repressive, like it was dirty or shameful or anything like that. And then the other thing I wanted to share is in connection with the quote you just shared. The reason why we were not allowed to touch the priest or touch sacred objects is because of the powerful power of the blood. It's, it's like, when you have a source of power and it interacts with another source of power, and then it knocks the other source of power out. That's why we weren't allowed to, like, touch. It wasn't because it's unclean or it's anything like that. But somehow, down the line, I mean, in my family it was made clear, but when I talk about it with other people who grew up with me in Ghana, they're like, that's a repressive tradition. Let's just get rid of it. But I think the origins weren't repressive as I was taught it. Thank you.
Beautiful. I'm so glad that you mentioned. That's why I said this community can do more than I can ever do by myself. Is that before it got shifted, the sacred time for a woman was her menstrual flow. When she's powerful, women would gather and conjure together. And I say conjure, we've been taught that that's a bad thing, but like manifest, rest, eat. I would say get messages. We would bleed into the earth, and not all traditions or tribes or cultures do this, but this is very common. And then it shifted. And like you said, nowadays it's like, oh, she's unclean, and that's the conversation. However, it was for our protection, and also it's a lot of energy flowing, and so we needed to be able to be separate and apart from some of the ritual and the spiritual things that were being done because of the high energy that we carried. So listen, thank you, beloved, for sharing what you shared and also acknowledging your father and what he provided as a brother, as a man, to you as a woman in celebration of your cycle. What's your name for your cycle and flow?
It's Sacred Reminder.
Ashe, sacred
Yes.
reminder. Yes. So we got sacred reminder and a river runs through her. Awesome. Thank you, beloved. All right. Who else? Who else? We have Teresa Scott. Unmute yourself, please.
I'm just so grateful for the wake up, because I was sitting here crying, and I was like, because I realized that they made it such a horrible thing when I was growing up. It was like, it was not nice, and I hated it. It was like I hated having my menstrual cycle. And so what I named it today was Sunflower. But the thing, what came to me is while I was waiting, while Sister Nefertiti was talking, was that there's a scripture in the Bible said a woman said if she could just touch the hem of Jesus' garment. And what she did is that she went against all the religious cultures to go and touch him, because like she said, she was made unclean. And so what I feel that what that woman was saying was that I'm not going to allow my situation to stop me from from bringing me touching my faith to get to a place. And I think for me is like I'm not going to allow whatever stuff is happening to stop me from receiving my healing, because I believe that there's healing for me, and I'm not accepting the regular what you call the status quo of a person who's dealing with who's been told of cancer. And so my mindset has been changed, and I just like the way the wake up just brings subjects about me and my life when I'm at a place where I feel like I'm struggling. And it's like I come on here, like when you said you was crying about your menstrual, I started crying. I'm like, why am I crying? Because it's like I've never felt a love about this thing, but yet I have a compassion for it. So I just want to tell you thank you, and I really appreciate you.
Thank you, beloved. Yeah. I didn't realize how magical it was or I was until I was almost 40 years old. And I'm 52 and grateful, ever grateful. But like I said earlier, what I would have been able to manifest if I understood the power and the purpose of my period power would be amplified in by default, not by design. And so I have no regrets or resentments. At least I woke up to the power of the moon and the moon cycle, and I would do ritual and I would negotiate the space of my blood. I would feel the texture of it and look at the color of it, and I would ritualize with it. I started using a diva cup, and for those who are not familiar, it's a cup that is pliant. I think it's made out of I'm not sure what it's made out of. One of the other sisters in the space who has more knowledge, maybe Amaduma can tell us. I would, was pliant, so I could put it inside of me and then catch the blood and then measure how much blood would be coming out of me. And it was just a magical thing. And sometimes I would create a space on my altar where there would be a portion of my blood and herbs and just honor and amplify it. And some might say, oh my God, that's so disgusting, because we've been taught that our cycles are something to be repulsed, that we stink, that we're nasty, that, we're bloody and all of this other stuff. And we miss out on the fact that I say this all the time in my Rites of Passage program, Be the Tree. When I introduce women to the program, I say, what I love about being a woman is that we can bleed for consecutive days and not die. We're fucking amazing. And I keep emphasizing and cursing and saying all the things because I just want us to get how freaking amazing we are. So Teresa, thank you so much for your share.
Can I just say one thing? The other thing I want to say is that during this time, like based on what they're saying, like I've been bleeding, but even in the midst, it's not supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be bleeding, but in the midst of my bleeding, I'm still creating. And so, based on what they're saying, that's not a good sign. But I have like my creative has popped up to a whole level of creation. So even though it is meant to be a bad thing that's happening to me, but the creative in my pushes to be able to push past what I'm dealing with, I'm still creating. So that's what's so amazing about it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, beloved. All right, more voices, more opportunity to unpack. There's so much richness to this conversation, and there's so many places I want to go, but I want to hear from you. Inez, I see your hand is up. I see Rukia wants to speak, and Veronica and Laurencia. Hey, Laurencia. All righty. So Inez, you ready?
Yes, I am. One thing I have to say is that Teresa, I can really, I can understand. Well, I should say understand what she was saying, because growing up, I was taught that it was nasty, it was dirty, and every month a woman is sick. So if I'd have known that how powerful my cycle really is, I think really everything would have been, it would have been totally different. So what something is telling me now is that since I don't have one now, is to really do a ritual to honor her and to even clear the space of forgiveness, because I didn't know. And the energy flow that I had during that time was like, oh my God, it's here. And oh, I'm going to be sick and blah, blah, blah. But I still had to get out here and work and do what I had to do, and not realizing that that was the most sacred time of the month for me.
Okay, beautiful. I love that you are reclaiming, forgiving, going back and what we say. I haven't said this in a while. In Wake Up, I used to say it last year a lot, but you're going back to saying "Ko" for that shit, like going back and fetching it so that you can reclaim, rename, and recalibrate the relationship with your blood and the sacredness of it. So thank you, Inez, for that share. Rukia, are you ready?
I am. I'm literally shaking. So I have to start there. This conversation is so powerful. Now I'm getting emotional. But I grew up in traditional, hearing Nefertiti speak. For years, I didn't really understand the reasoning behind not touching items, not pouring libation, not being a part of or spiritual practice during your cycle. And so when I started trying to learn my own path and find my own way, I started some blood rituals with my menses. And when I say rituals, I would use it to water plants, but I was using the Diva cup. But I have to say, January 1st, 2016, it's so powerful. January 1st, 2016, I came out of I had started this mid 2015. January 1st, 2016, I came out of my cousin's house and all I smelled was skunk. Skunk happens to be my totem animal. When I meditate, I think of skunk for some reason. I'm not even really clear 100% why yet. But that year I came out to my car and there was a skunk that had been hit by a car and everything smelled of skunk to the point where I couldn't get into my car because the smell took my breath away. Anyway, that same year, January 26, 2016, every cycle I was doing moon ritual. That January 26, I had a freak accident. Large frame glass fell into my leg and ripped into the muscle. And when I didn't call EMS, I probably would have passed out because I'm a healthcare professional and they made jokes that I probably was going to try to suture myself. But one of my friends was like, you need to call 911 because I started getting dizzy. When the police came into my home, they said it looked like a murder scene. The amount of blood from my leg that had just was all over, was literally because I hopped from the kitchen into the bathroom and it was just blood everywhere. But anyway, after that experience, I did stop because I started questioning the power of the blood, because the fact that I could cut into my leg mysteriously that way that year, and there was so many things happening that year, but I know that I was every full moon, I was taking my Diva cup, adding it to water, plant it, and I would water my plants with them. I have to say my plants did a lot better with that practice. But I did stop it because I started questioning my power, because it literally scared me, because I know that what I was, and I manifested some amazing things, guys. I won't go into all of it, but that experience, but what I felt was that I was dipping into something that I myself didn't understand. And so I felt like I needed to move from that, because I was dipping into a practice that I wasn't even able to understand. And so I wanted to share that, because hearing this conversation is like, wow, I was doing this and I didn't understand 100% what I was doing. And I trained to become a priest. And so there are things in the spiritual practice that I'm very familiar with regarding blood, not menstrual cycle at all. But so I definitely became fearful of it, but I definitely can acknowledge the power of it as well.
Thank you so much, beloved. And we're breaking ground and shifting paradigms by having conversations like this. These conversations, talking about your period is considered taboo. You just it's private. You go to the back. You don't let anybody know. You don't say the words around it, like what is actually happening. We call it the rag, and just all these other things. I was going to open with that, but y'all know what's up. We don't need to re-energize that. What we need to talk about, and what we will talk about, is the power of it and transforming that and shifting it, because women can, and so can brothers in the conversation. And so we have brothers in this space that can take the conversation to its rightful space by speaking life into the blood, on the behalf of the women in your life. And then once again, as I said earlier, the women that created you or co-created you as a result of their sacred time, their moon time, their flowering. All right, Veronica, your hand is up.
Hi, good morning, all. This is so painful for me, first of all, because when I left New York to go to Trinidad to live with my grandmother, I was 9. And when I got off the plane the next morning, my period began. And what my ritual in the Caribbean, in a small community, is you get a stack of diapers. And they have to remain white as long as you have them, which meant that as you took off your cloth, your period cloth, you had to soak it, wash out the blood, wash it with soap, and put it out in the sun so that the sun could bleach it clean. Then you'd have to wash it out the soap again, and then you'd have to hang it, which meant that everybody in the community knew when you had your period. And so for the 5 years that I lived in Cunupia, in the village of Cunupia in Trinidad, that was a ritual for me. That was not very pleasant. And also, I had a very extremely heavy period for my entire 40 years of having a cycle. I bled clots. I didn't know about that power. And as I'm listening to you all, I wrote down my name is a river ran through me. Because if I got up at night, it would flow. If I moved out of a chair, it would flow. I have to wear 2 and 3 periods as a woman. And then as I went into menopause, I menopaused for about 10 years. And the end of my menopause, I bled for a month at a time. So, and then Shawnee, I wanted to tell you this, that when you do the women, the rites of passage, I did it with you to be the tree, but I needed to be with women that were my age that had experienced what I experienced. And because this was very painful. And I don't know if there's another person that's 65 that's on this call this morning, or 70 or 80, that experienced what I experienced. And I need to be in a circle with women that could identify with what my pain was. That when I got up on the subway and I got up, my clothes would be covered in blood. So for me, it was not a very this is very painful. I don't know how to express what I felt. I guess I'm expressing it now, and thank you for the opportunity to say it. But what you guys are talking about, that was not my experience.
Got it.
For over 40 years.
Ashe.
And I give thanks for not having a period any longer. I praise myself as being an elder that does not have to carry blood cloth, does not have to carry sanitary napkins. It was painful to me. And I thank you for listening to me.
Ashe. So thank you for the share. And I'm not sure. Oh, you were not on camera. And tell me why that is, Veronica, why you're not showing yourself, because you're showing yourself on other mornings. And it may be nothing, but I just want to, once again, we're amplifying conversations about the blood and our journey with it and our menstrual flow on the continuum, what the world says, the good, the bad, and the ugly of it. For me, it's all part of the journey. And, for those who know me and work with me, folks who have done the rites of passage, I speak about vibrations and not like the bad, good, high vibration, low vibration. What you just shared was a low vibrational experience regarding your period. And so I'm just curious, like, what has you not show yourself? Is it you're in bed, it's dark? I don't know. Like, I'm just asking.
I just got up and I turned on my computer. I'm in my sewing room and
Do
I
you
just
sit?
didn't turn on.
Okay. All right. So if you're willing, oh, there you go. All right. You can highlight or spotlight her so we can both be seen. I'm gonna say a few things to you, and this is for any of the sisters in the space who are currently in the experience that you're talking about, or have had that experience in the past because they're now in what the world calls menopause. So I said this earlier. We've been suppressed, repressed, oppressed as women.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, a lot of how we work and what's natural flow for us is off kilter, is imbalanced. I'm 52, born in 1968. You're more seasoned than me. So remind me of the age again, because I don't think you said.
I'm 65. I'll be 66 in months, in some months.
Nobody would know that because of that baby face you have. So you were growing up as an adolescent during a time that we were even more repressed. We
Yes.
were even more viewed as less than. We were,
Mhm.
our blood rights were like, go back there, do that. Like you said, scrubbing the, it was a ritual. And it's so
Mhm.
funny, like the juxtaposition, because when I was raising my daughters, when their cycles came, it was celebration. I ran a rites of passage for 10 years for girls between the ages of 12 to 16. We celebrated the cycle and we talked about the different, how many days each girl bled. And it was just a magnificent experience to reframe.
Mhm.
What I want to share with you as a metaphysician is that your blood is in flow of it. Like I said, the river runs through me, and I had my own context. You said the same thing, and your context was low vibrational. Mine was high
Mhm.
vibrational.
Mhm.
And so I'm
Mhm.
going to ask you, what were you bleeding for, and who were you bleeding for that had the flow be so heavy and clotted? And if you don't understand the question, I'll
I understand the question. And first of all, okay, here I am at 9 years old, being sent to live with my grandmother in Canupia.
what did
And
that
it's a village. It's literally, it was in the 60s. It was literally a village. So if you wanted to walk from Canupia to Enterprise, you had to walk the 2 miles or the 3 miles to go there, because nobody could afford to take a bus there. You had to do the walking and walk back, right? And so, yes, I was away from my mother
okay. Stay
and
there.
my elder siblings, because the four youngest went. Yes, stay here.
Yeah, yes. Okay. And just breathe and stay with me, because I may jump in because I want to make
Mhm.
sure that we put
Mhm.
emphasis on the story you're telling, because you're being so generous.
Mhm.
So 9-year-old
Yeah.
into a space where it's very different than where you were growing up. So where were you originally?
East Ocean Hill, Brownsville.
Got it. Two different worlds, right?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. With grandma.
Yes.
So I don't know if that's joyful
Um,
or
as an adult, I see that it was the best thing that could have happened in my life.
we're not talking about your adult self, because
That's, yeah.
right. So as a young girl, 9 years old, what did you make being with grandma mean?
I felt like a transplant.
Got it. Well, that's
I,
big words. Use 9-year-old words.
lost,
Lost. What else?
alone,
Hmm.
um, in a strange land.
Got it.
People didn't speak the way I spoke.
Hmm.
Um, it was just all different.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So I asked you, what were you bleeding for, and who were you bleeding for? So we're so powerful. So
Hmm.
that got locked in at 9. And when did you start bleeding?
The morning I arrived in Trinidad, the next morning.
Yeah. Wow, how magical you are. How magical you are.
The
Why
next
do
morning.
you think I'm saying that?
I don't know.
All right, well,
Wasn't magic to me.
I get that. But we get to choose what narrative we honor and what we follow. I would say
Mhm.
you're magical because here you are, possibly feeling traumatized, because trauma is different for different people. Like what's not traumatizing to me might be traumatizing for another person. But to
Mhm.
be snatched from the life in Brooklyn, flow of traffic and buses, and people walking, and sounds that you can hear, like when you're laying in bed, if you listen, it's not birds chirping, it's people talking and
Mhm.
traffic moving. Like this city has its own essence.
Yep.
To that Canopia,
Canupia.
Canupia, right, with your grandmother. So you're
Mhm.
an elder and you're in a foreign land, a
Yep.
transplant, your adult self says. Lost, lonely, and what was the other thing you said?
I don't know. It just didn't feel right. It
All
just
right, got
it,
that. Right. And then immediately you start bleeding,
yep.
right?
Next morning.
Yeah, and then the blood flow, 9-year-old body, heavy.
Mhm. Mhm.
Was there pain?
No, I've never had a painful period.
All right, so say that again
Physically painful. I've never had a physically painful period.
one more time.
I've never had a physically painful period.
Ashe. Just want to put that out there because sometimes people associate lots of blood with pain.
I've
Just
never had a physical, painful childbirth of 4 children.
got that. So just offering it up.
Yes.
Like the heavy flow of blood and how the river flowed through you, supported you, and being able to bring life into the world in many different ways. Because I know you. So my mind is going in reference to how you manifest.
Mm-hmm.
How has that blood flow served you on a spiritual level? Because you're a spiritual person. You can get caught up in the physical, and that's where we get lost. That's why I said take it from the head to the heart to the spirit.
Yeah.
How did that blood flow support you?
It made me creative.
How so? How so?
Well, I'm a quilter. I'm a teacher. I had to teach through it all.
Yeah.
I had to figure out how to sit still the days that I had my period, so that the flow wouldn't flow out of me. I had to figure out to hold it.
Yeah. What's happening
It's,
now? Sis?
hmm,
What's happening now?
I'm just it's a painful memory to me.
I know. And I'm telling you, I'm not trying to tell you what to think or how to feel, but I'm just offering up that there's light inside of the murky waters of your blood flow. And
Mm-hmm.
you choose to see it or not.
Yeah.
Who are you? Second question, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's not the second, it might be the fifth. Who are you bleeding for? Just sit with it.
Everybody,
Who's
everybody, my children, my husband, my mother,
Mhm,
my siblings,
mhm.
they all depended on me all the time.
Right.
Um, all the time.
Yeah. And as a highly sensitive being, your blood flow was communicating something to you. And now that we're having this conversation, what was it trying to communicate?
I don't know.
Oh, come on,
I
Veronica.
don't know. I don't
Come on.
know.
You just told us, right? You bleed for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You take on, like I said, the burden on the back, and your womb literally spoke for you,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't know why you moved to, the space where you moved when you were young or what was going on, but
Can I tell you?
yes,
My mother was married at 15. She had 8 children.
say that again.
My mother was married at 15 and she had 8 children.
Mhm,
And she physically and mentally and emotionally couldn't care for those 8 children. So my grandmother would help her by taking us.
mhm. And where are you in the birth order?
I'm 5.
Got it, in the middle, right?
I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
And my mother, I've watched my mother bleed like I bled.
Mhm. Your mother
I
got married at 15.
I watched her bleed like I bled. I watched the blood run down my mother's legs.
Okay. And I'm inviting you to recognize that you focus on the visuals and the physical, not saying
Yes.
dismiss it, but there's
Mhm.
a spiritual and emotional level to this that is important to unpack. The metaphysical. And so what I'm trying to tell you is
Yes.
that you and your mother, powerful as I don't know what, bled your pain.
Mm.
I'm just offering up.
Yeah.
Sense of abandonment, um,
Mhm.
just being, you might have made up, you were tossed to the side.
Mhm.
And so quickly did you manifest the emotions that you landed in that space and started to bleed immediately. And
Yep.
you bled consecutively since then until your menstrual flow stopped.
Mhm.
And I'm saying you're magical and powerful. And if you rechannel that blood that flows through you, you can do anything. Because I don't bleed anymore, like externally, but the
Mhm.
blood churns within me, spiritually, emotionally, um, um, mentally. And there's an offer to you to allow that heavy flow of blood to teach you and not to get caught up in, oh my gosh, I was bleeding so much and I know it was painful. And I'm like, if we were taught when we were young, you would have been able to learn what it meant and possibly to transform it. And since you've lived your life letting people's issues make you have an issue of blood, let me say it again, you
Mhm.
let other people's issues cause you to have an issue of blood, that If you own that, then you can unpack that, and then you can reframe with your period, with your cycle, with your moon time, what your blood flow is trying to tell you. So are you open to allowing other folks who are in this conversation to join and share what they hear?
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for your patience. Thank you so much, Veronica. I want to hear what others hear inside of this conversation. So, Nigel, whomever you wish to select, and Laurencia, I see your hand, and then we're going to do an exercise. Boy, I'm like, I got to come back and through on this. I had so much planned, but this is perfect. So perfect. So, anybody who wants to share what you heard inside of my conversation with Veronica.
No one is raising their hand yet, Shawnee. So let me.
I see 3, unless I'm wrong. I see a clap, and I see a thumbs up, and I see a hand raised, which is already Laurencia.
So Laurencia had her hand raised from before. Juju, you say your name for me, please. Yavelka? Yavelka, would you like to come off of mute and share answer to Shawnee's question?
Yes. I'm sorry, I was clapping. I didn't know how to raise my hand. I'm still a newbie to all of this stuff. Spirit brought me here because I've been trying to catch you folks for the longest time. And I literally had to stop what I was doing when I heard Shawnee speaking in the beginning about blood. Because I woke up at 3:23 this morning on February 23, thinking about blood. And the message that I hear today is blood is sacred and to be respected. And we are sacred and we are to be respected. You know, my mom is from La República Dominicana. And when I was growing up, I was always told that it wasn't scary or bad. That was other people, Shawnee. Like you said, it's the other folks. Right. It's the friends, you know, because when you're growing up, it's the kids, it's their parents that it's like, oh no. But there was always this thing about a ritual, although we were never taught it, you know, once we were Americanized. I'm the first of my family of 9. So what I'm hearing now and what I was called to come on is like, oh my gosh, I have my first grandbaby. I wasn't able to do any rituals and bring out the spirituality of this with my daughter. I still have time, but I have my grandbaby and I'm here to learn. I'm like, what is it that I forgot? You know, because I was happy. Just now coming on here, you helped me give it a name. I would always say it's my moon. It's my moon. I stay up with the moon. I wait for the sun. Okay. You know, so that's what I hear. I hear, you know, blood is sacred. I am sacred. Blood is to be respected. I am to be respected. Thank you for letting me share.
Stay with us a little bit. I just want to acknowledge something. So I asked earlier who Veronica was bleeding for. And because you spoke of the power of the blood and your sacredness, I want to ask, who are you bleeding for by choice? Because you can choose for your moon time to align with your release, not just on your behalf, but also on the behalf of the grandbaby and others. But who do you choose to bleed for?
I really don't know how to answer that. You know, like, who do I choose to bleed for? I can tell you what was, you know, like my thoughts and my mind while I was going through, you know, my moon cycle. It was, you know, for my children. In the beginning was for my mom, you know, just the things that I saw. Because every time that I would see her go through something, it would be moon time. It was just like, I wasn't able to realize that until now. Like when 2016 hit, that was the first time I never felt any pain during my moon time. Mm-hmm. So that's when my awareness, I'm like, I don't feel any pain. Because when I was younger, my first day, I couldn't do anything. Even if I worked, I couldn't work. I couldn't go to school. I couldn't get up out of bed. Mm-hmm. So to me, the person that I bled for in the beginning was my mom. Because I called in all my kids. Like, I stopped my moon and I was pregnant.
Got it.
You know, like, I know that. I know that for a fact.
Yes.
You know, and during my moon time, like as I'm journaling, now I realize every time that I'm on my moon, like I got courses, I got businesses, I got projects, and I'm talking about big things, huge things. I got people calling me like, I want to work with you. Let's collaborate. And it's during those 7 days, because for me, it's 7 days. Right. And I'm realizing that now. And like I said, you stopped me. I was working earlier. You stopped me, stopped my tracks. And I'm like, I have to be like, everything has to stop. I got to be on. I got to catch you. Because, I always make excuses like, yeah, it's early. I'm up at 7. I can't do this. I'm working. Spirit was like, oh, no, not today, Uvalka.
Ashe.
So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you for being here, beloved. And thank you for allowing your blood to flow so that you can create in the world so that we can be blessed. I love you so much. Thank you. All right. So, Stacey, you asked about context. In the conversation with Veronica, she talked about how much she would bleed and how much her relationship with her cycle was so low vibrational. And I was asking her, just as a metaphysician, who she was bleeding for, that the blood was so heavy, that there was something, someone, some circumstance that she was bleeding so heavily for. And that's the conversation. And then we get to reframe and say we get to choose to bleed for not only ourselves, but others, because our cycle is so powerful that we can manifest some shit for ourselves and for others and for the world. So I'm going to ask short shares. It's 8:05. I missed the pivot, which is at 8 o'clock, acknowledging those who have to leave. We love you so much. We thank you for being here, whether it's Facebook or the Zoom space. Thank you for the time and the energy and the co-creation in this space. I also have a team that's supporting me this morning. So I may not take all the questions. We might have to wait until we come back because I want to be able to get in the breakout room, the 15-minute breakout room, and the coming back in so that we can share and close out. And clearly this needs to be another conversation. And my sister Sienna said that, maybe perhaps we need to do a virtual summit or conference around the period and the flow and just the power of blood rights. And I'm always down for that. So thank you, Sienna, for conjuring that up on your moon time, because you're one of the women in the space, you and Audrey Jane, that acknowledge that you are on your moon cycle right now. So Laurentia, I'm going to ask that you unmute yourself. Abimbola, I'm going to try to get to you in our PA, so y'all bear with me. If not, we'll go to the breakout rooms and we'll see what happens on the other side. So my apologies. Laurentia?
Good morning.
Darling.
So I had 2 points that I wanted to make. I feel like this conversation is really pushing me in the direction to be more mindful of my my moon cycle, my period, my menstrual flow, all of that. It's one and the same. But what I acknowledge is that I've been in conversations prior, I think it was just a week or 2 ago, where this was also the basis of the conversation. I was in a room on Clubhouse and they were talking about cycle hacking, like using your every stage of your menstrual cycle to be more productive in life, to get certain things done. And it just opened my awareness to learn more about what each stage of the cycle is. I feel like we focus more on, while we're bleeding, or even like PMS when we're experiencing the symptoms before, but there's so much more that's going on behind the scenes that if we tap into could make us more productive. So I was just made more aware of everything else that was going on behind that. And then in the conversations that have been had in this space so far this morning, one thing that I came to my mind just now is just how much of, societal expectations, and we spoke about how the menstrual cycle is deemed or looked at as disgusting or unclean or unpure. And I thought about how much of that I've internalized that contributes to the pain that I feel on my cycle, or how much of the pain or the negative experiences that I've experienced throughout the month that leads up to my cycle. And I internalize that. Does that contribute to my pain? Does that contribute to the discomfort and my inability to work through that, my inability to get up, to be productive, to feel anything other than that? When my cycle first starts, I feel pain for the first 3 days. And it lasts about 7. It can be 5 to 7. So majority of the time I'm on the cycle, I'm feeling that pain. And I see people in the chat talking about food and diet, and that's something that I've also become aware of. And in that regard, I try and make sure that I'm eating, healthier, especially, the week leading up to. But there's just so much that contributes to it. And yeah, I'm just becoming hyper aware of all of that now.
Thank you so much for that share, Laurencia. And I transformed my cycle. I never had a lot of pain, but I transformed the way my blood flowed, the number of days, just by shifting my diet and then also engaging in meditation and ritualizing my moon time. It was just an amazing thing what I discovered. But like I said, it was late in my life. I'm like, my goodness. But once again, I don't want to get stuck. At least I woke up. So thank you for waking up with us today and for amplifying the conversation by adding your energy and what you learned the other day and just expanding that by coming in today and sharing it. Love you too, Laurencia. Miss you. All right, so we're going to go into breakout rooms. I know that folks wanted to share. Abimbola and Afriye wanted to share, but I want to go into the breakout room so that we can talk. So I'm going to ask the team if you could identify. I think I gave the names of folks who are going to lead in the breakout rooms, and I may need a few more. So I'm going to ask my cousin Alexia. I know you just jumped in. If you could lead a conversation, and then also just thinking about who's accustomed to working with me. Ooh, just one more. Jacqueline can lead a conversation in a breakout room. We might need like a couple more because it's 44 folks in the space. And for those who have to leave, I totally get it. We're about to go into the breakout rooms. It was originally 15 minutes, but I'll make it 10 so we can come out and experience closure together as a community. So in the breakout room, I want you to go in and, before we do this, in the chat, please add words, just words, or you can have two words at the most together that you have discovered in this conversation or that are present for you in this conversation. So for me, you heard me say, this is actually longer than two words, but women can lead while they bleed, right? So that's a statement. But whatever you discovered in this conversation, put it in the chat and be prepared to take it in your breakout room. Reclaim, reframe. Thank you, beloved. Private power. Ashe, ashe. With flow, there is power. Respect the sacred women. My moon. Oh, sorry, it's going so fast. Refrain. Blood equals power. Ashe. Yes. Period power. Yes, yes, yes. Reframe, co-creator. Beautiful. So keep that going and flowing. So take into your breakout rooms these words, and I want to ask you and the group that you're with to create a short poem about the power of the blood, to co-create a short poem and then come back and select somebody who is willing to share it, right? And we may not get to everyone, but the bottom line is the co-creation in the space is really where the power is at. So let's amplify the blood that exists for all the folks that will be in the breakout room together and use that blood to synergize and to create. Blood is power, Sandy. All right, so Niger, you ready?
Shawnee, you said that you wanted two additional rooms. Alexia was one, leading one. And what was the other name?
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline Davis?
Yes. There's more than one Jackie here?
No, there isn't. Okay, so let me go ahead and move her.
Yeah, Afriye say manifest and ritualize. That's right, sis. So take these words or phrases into the breakout room and manifest, co-create. And it doesn't take all day to do it, right? Just put them together and see what you create and add conjunctions and commas, whatever you need to make it flow, and pick one person that's going to be going to spit your poem for the group. And we may not get to everybody, but we'll definitely try our best. So we ready, Nigel?
We're ready. I'm sending everyone now. 10 minutes, right? And we will give everyone a 1-minute warning when your 10 minutes is almost complete. Go off.
Okay, thank you. All right, Facebook. So Charmaine, are the folks on Facebook putting their words and phrases in?
They are. They are.
Let's see what they got. Nigel, we still have some folks. Sharina, Audrey Jane, Joyce, y'all have to select your breakout. You have to choose to go in the breakout room.
They should have been moved in automatically.
Oh, okay.
But
All right, they can stay with us. It's cool. If you can make it happen, great. But Charmaine, can you share some of the things that were shared in Facebook?
Yeah, some of the things that they shared was sacred flowers, blood is sacred, sacred flow, um, sacred flow, power warrior.
All right. Sacred
My
flower.
body is a vessel.
Mhm.
Oh,
Sac-
Akila says, I'll start our poem.
All right, good. They can do it in the thread if they choose. If she's gonna do it, tell her to just pull together everything that's shared in the thread, and she can manifest a poem for the Facebook crew. Who did you say was gonna do it?
Akila
Akila.
Stewart.
Yes, hey
Mhm.
Akila. I was trying to get her up in here, but she's on Facebook. It's all good. So pull their statements together and make one succinct piece that can flow. Awesome. All right. So let's see who else is in the space. Kashana, what you have? You gotta unmute. Can she hear me?
let's see if I can support her. I'm asking her to unmute. There she
I
is.
can unmute, but I'm driving, so it's a little hard navigating.
All right. Well, listen, you can still tell us your word or statement about the power of the moon time, the flow, the period.
It's hard. It's hard. I had a lot of thoughts going on in my mind about the blood. So it's yeah, it's like, I can bless you and bring you to your knees.
Ashe.
Because, the blessings of the children, but there are days where she has absolutely brought me to my knees.
Thank you. And what are your emotions regarding that? How do you feel?
So I'm trying to shift my mind story around my period because we've never really been good friends. When I was younger, I started out with cramps, and then 20, 30 years, 20 years of no cramps. And then in my 40s, I started cramping again.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just went back full circle.
Yeah.
But
I need to do a whole session on the meaning behind what the body goes through on a metaphysical level, because I can unpack just like I did with Veronica. We're supposed to be making our poem. So I love that you said she can bless you and bring you to your knees, like that juxtaposition, like those two things simultaneously. So that's powerful. So Sharina, I don't know if you can unmute. Joyce is here. Radia, I don't know if I'm saying that improperly, but if you have a piece that you can share, any of you, please unmute. I'm inviting. We have a stubborn group in this. And Nigel, if you have something, you can definitely share too.
Yes, Shawnee, I can share. I was a little bit distracted, so tell me what we're sharing again.
Just a word or phrase, and then John is next, if you're willing.
So like a lot of women, I just didn't recognize the power in my menstrual. And now as an older woman, a woman who no longer menstruates, I do recognize the power in it. And it's funny, I met you in a church, and a lot of people have a church background, and we're taught the power of the blood of Christ. But somehow I did not equate that with the power of my own blood.
All right. So what's a word or a short phrase that you can generate from what you just shared?
I know now.
I know now.
I know now.
Thank you. Charmaine? And I know you're doing double duty because you got your Facebook crew.
Okay, what was the question? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna slap my team. Either a word or a phrase that aligns with what you discovered today about the blood, menstrual flow, moon time. We got just to Nigel just said now. I know now. That's her statement. And then Kishana said she can bless me and bring. I'm sorry. She can bless you and bring you to your knees, meaning the cycle.
How I misrepresented you.
Mm-hmm. And John, what do you have?
What came up for me in the entire session is that there's power in the flow, as I put it in the chat, and that men tend to feel, we can feel that emotion also. When you were speaking to Veronica and you asked her who she bleeding for, and I could feel her pain, and immediately, I felt connected. And I started going to myself to see, where does this resonate from me? Where is this feeling coming from? And as you were speaking to Juju, and you ask her that question, immediately before she answered, what came up for me is my mother. Not just my mother, but all the women that I've encountered that have been suppressed, have been viewed in this low vibration way because of having this part of nature that I've witnessed in all the animals of the earth. So being connected with that in a way, I felt empathetic with the whole message and the whole vibe, and I learned a lot this morning just listening to the experiences that I heard.
Ashe, thank you so much. All right. Anybody else? We have Radia. I'm not sure. I don't want to mispronounce your name. Radhia. And then we have somebody on a device that's Moto E6, which I've seen before, but I can never remember the name of the person. That if you're willing, Sharina, to share your word or phrase, we're here to, oh, Kishana, sorry, you just went. And Joyce is here too. So if you're willing to unmute and share, we're definitely open to hear. And we're about to close out the breakout room, so others will join in the space in a little bit. So once again, no force, nothing that has to happen in the space other than us holding space and being here. So what we got is, I know now, how I misrepresented you. There's power in the flow. Men can feel it. She can bless you and she can bring you to your knees. That's what we have. That's powerful. All right, so the folks are coming back into the space. Charmaine, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. Release like breeze or a rough sea, a graceful warrior, fiery dragon, sacred flow.
Beautiful. That's all the posts on the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And is Akila still pulling everything together, or?
No, so I'm actually doing it.
Okay.
And
great.
when I do it, I'll drop it in the chat.
All right. That's right. All right. So here we are. Here our family is back. All right. So we'll get an opportunity. There's only 12 people back, so I'm not sure what's happening. There's like a delay.
Yes, I did tell Zoom to close the rooms, and it's closing them in 40 more seconds.
Okay, got that. Cool.
So they'll be coming in shortly. Some people have already started to come in.
So Sienna, who's going to speak in your group?
I am.
Oh, great. Yeah. All right. And then we got Jackie. We had Cheryl. Nigel, who else did we have? I want to make sure that Shauna.
We had Amaduma, Teresa Plaskett.
Right.
You also called Alexia,
Yes.
and Jacqueline.
Oh, okay. Coach Cheryl wasn't on there?
Oh, I thought you said Cheryl's name. Yes,
I'm
she
right
was.
here.
All right, awesome. Wait a minute. All right. So Sienna, we're gonna start with you. What you got?
Oh my goodness. Okay. We had a great conversation, and it was myself, Z, and Adam in a group. So it was a great conversation with the gentleman. So it was good. All right, here's what we got. Creation and strength, awkward pain, period power, irregular regularity, 7-day warriors unite, unbreakable, blessed to bleed.
Ashe. Awesome. Your DJ moves.
I mean, that's what I gotta feel it. I told my group I was going to do that for them. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Jackie, who's speaking for your group?
Afia is going to recite our poem.
Excellent.
Thank you for the opportunity, all. We got a powerful 4 minutes. All right, let me go. The power of the blood, essence of life. The power of the blood, with flow there is power. The power of the blood empowers me. The power of the blood transforms me. The power of the blood reminds me. The power of the blood, I love me. The power of the blood courses through me. The power of the blood reveals me. The power of the blood, through my private power, I blossom.
All right, now y'all better work.
Yes, honey, yes.
Yes, that's beautiful.
I love it. All right, we got Coach Cheryl Glenn. Who's gonna speak for your group and spit for your group?
I will spit with myself, Sister Audrey, and Sister Yorol Dean. And here's what we got. I lead and I bleed. I bleed and achieve. Heavy flow, a call to self. I bleed for myself, showing love, support, and compassion. I am a stand for me.
Beautiful. Yes. All right, I'm gonna do my.
Here we go. Blood is power. Excuse me. Blood is power. Now that we know, we can celebrate the days of the flow. We end the trauma now.
All right. Short and potent. I love it. Thank you. Say it again. Say it again.
Blood is power. Now that we know, we can celebrate the days of the flow. We end the trauma now.
Ashe. We end the trauma now. Ashe. Thank you. All righty. Let's see who else we got. We moving and grooving. Teresa Plaskett.
Greetings, everyone. Sister Juju, do you have it? Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, bring it.
Respect the sacred woman. You came from the womb, men. Recreate the power of the flow. There's healing power in the flow. Reclaim and refrain. Flow real. Manifest that power. My energy transforms. There is elevation in creation, consistent as the moon. We are flowing in the blood.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. All right. And then Alexia, what you got?
All right, Stacey McLean is representing for our group. It was Afria, Teresa, Stacey, and I am leaving out a name. Stacey, help me when you get on.
Okay. It's purple in the space. Can I request the beatbox? Can I request the beatbox?
Oh, you mean that's 838. All right, but I got you. I got you.
All right. All right. Okay. You setting it off? Like something like that. Okay. I don't hear you.
I ain't really in a spot where I could be loud.
Okay. All right. so let me go. Okay. Okay. We manifest.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
No, not really, Boo. You just that's okay, Boo. You
Just
there,
spit,
spirit.
just spit, just imagine.
Okay, so hey, we manifest and ritualize. There's days we awake with tears in our eyes. There's power in the blood. There's power in the blood. We get to create. Wait, there's power and we get to create. We share with our kids, we share with our mates. There's power in the blood. There's power in the blood. We produce and productivity arise. It's pure magic. See the moon in our eyes? It's power in the blood. It's power in the blood. We relax and we restore, and yes, we rest. Oh yes, we manifest. There's power in the blood. There's power in the blood. Ashe.
All right, we got to take this on the road. All right. All right. Is there another room? I know that we have Facebook and we have
Yes,
okay.
Shauna.
Yes. I was like, your name wasn't called earlier. So I'm like, is Shawnee here? All right, go ahead, baby.
So my group had Nefertiti, Laura Clark, and Sahuspi, and myself. So Sahuspi is going to read our poem.
And Inez.
And Inez.
Sahuspi, you coming on camera, lady? You're muted.
I have the poem on my phone, so when I pull it up, then it takes the picture off, I guess.
That's okay. You could just do it and hear your voice at least.
So sorry about that, everyone. Go back to the, okay. A time for reframing power. A time for reframing power. A time for sacred place. A time for purging to create more. A time to release, to build. A time for dreams and full moon. A time for sacred reminders. A time for renewed knowledge. A time for sacred rest. Ashe.
Ashe. And Charmaine. Oh, let me do ours really quickly. So the folks in the main space, there were quite a few of us, but not everybody spoke. So I know now how I misrepresented you. There's power in the flow. Men can feel it too. She can bless you and bring you to your knees. There's power in the flow. Ashe. Charmaine?
Ashe.
Unmute yourself. Oh, she's having some difficulty. Oh, there you go.
There I go. There I go. I got so much going on. All right. So from Facebook, my body is a vessel, a graceful warrior and fiery dragon, mighty, mighty river of life that release like breeze or a rough sea, vibrant, red, rolling. You are the waterfall of all divine. We cherish you and explosive gratitude with explosive gratitude. See, we thank you, acknowledge you, and honor you. And I'm complete.
Ashe, thank you. Beautiful. All right, family. Like I said, there was so much that I had planned this morning, and it just means I need to come back. And I definitely want to continue to unpack the metaphysical. I was going to talk about the three phases of womanhood and our blood rites and rituals in all of the phases, from menarche, when we first start bleeding, to menopause, and then also the issues of blood that we have, endometriosis and fibroids and PCOS and all the different things that impact just our flow and our reproductive journeys. But that's for another session. But I thank you all for the co-creation today. I got so much out of being with you in this way. So blessed, so blessed, so blessed to have a family like the Wake Up Everybody family to celebrate life with and transform and create what we want to create so that our lives can be amplified. And so if we are all ready, we can definitely move to the closing slides. Thank you. Thank you. Team, are we ready? I don't know if it's John or Niger. I'll do that towards the end. And John, you're muted.
Yeah, I believe it's me, Shawnee. Forgot I took on that additional role this morning.
All right, so while we wait on that, y'all know this, especially those who have been in the space all along, that we put up the special offer. And so today I'm inviting sis stars who may know about the Be the Tree Rites of Passage Collective, and just considered it and then maybe dismissed it. And maybe dismiss is a heavy word, but just considered it and just didn't take it on. Or you don't know anything about it, and this is an opportunity for you to learn. I am fully immersed in ritual as part of our journey as women. I am fully aligned with us recognizing the power of our wombs and how we can reclaim them, take them back, and use them to synergize and amplify the things that we're called to do on the planet, specifically our purposes. And so we are right now starting the cycle. In fact, this weekend it started, and we keep the cycle open until the second week. So any sisters that are interested, there are 2 sisters, and you would have to email me to actually declare this, or text me if you have my number to say that you're interested in taking this journey with us. It's a 4-month journey. It started this weekend, Sunday, Monday, and then it ends on June 7th, as far as our culmination or graduation ceremony. The tuition is $950. However, for 2 sisters, if you're interested in taking the journey, you'll get a $150 discount from the tuition. And you can, do a payment plan, or you can pay it all off at once, which is an additional discount. However, we invite you to consider. We also have introductions this week. So tomorrow night, there'll be an introduction on Thursday and Friday about what the program is. So if you're interested, you definitely can check us out and have an experience, like a slice of what Be the Tree Rites of Passage Collective is about. And I'm so psyched. We have some awesome women that have already said yes, and we started Sunday night and last night. There are 2 collectives in one cycle. So some women do the program on Sundays from 6 to 9. Others do the program on Mondays from 6:30 to 9:30. And I'm just so thrilled that I get a chance to continue to transform, because I'm with women and a collective that are about the business of amplifying their lives and being of service to humanity. So that being said, once again, text me or email me, and you'll see the email at the end when we show how to stay in touch. Oh, I'm sorry, I just lied. It's right here on the contact form. So my number is here. You can text me. You can inbox me on Facebook. Wait one sec. You can find me on Instagram, Shawnee the Healer, and then email soulleadershipdevelopment@gmail.com. So the first 2 women that reach out that want to explore the possibility of joining Be the Tree and receive the $150 discount from the tuition, please do reach out and inquire so you can get more information and join us on the journey. And that's the Facebookers included. Don't be scared. This is about your life. Love offerings. Yes. So here we are in this space, co-creating together. I was the conduit, but y'all are the fertile crop that got fertilized based on what I shared. And so in the Wake Up Everybody community, we view money as my own natural energy yield. Because I have the power of the blood within, I'm a master manifester. And because you have it as well, you're a master manifester. So we invite you to share your manifestations in the form of dollars and cents with the Wake Up Everybody family. And I haven't said this in a while, or we haven't said it, that when you give to the admin team who co-created the space today, and you also give to me, and you help to amplify the work of Wake Up Everybody and Spirit of a Woman. So thank you in advance for your generosity and for your sharing of your abundance and the cornucopia of life and light that you have, and that blood amplified that you have in the form of abundance. So Zelle, QuickPay, Soul Leadership Development at gmail.com, Cash App, $ Spirit of a Woman. And the code for this session, please do use the code, because we want to make sure it gets applied to the right day. Hashtag 268 SBG for Shawnee Benton Gibson. Hashtag 268 SBG for Shawnee Benton Gibson. Thank you. So tomorrow and Thursday, 2 women that I absolutely love are going to bring the topic of the blood to life, because that's our theme for this week, by sharing the following two topics or themes. So Coach Catherine Mbali Green Johnson is going to share honoring our legacy, ancestral remembrance, reconnection, and reparations. That's all about the blood and our blood ties and our histories. So we're definitely going to have a good time with her for her 30-minute session tomorrow. And then on Thursday, mindful sex. Talk about getting the blood going and flowing. Mindful sex by one of my favorite people, Portia Brown. Her birthday was yesterday. She and I have started to do a lot of work together, leading conversations about sex. So please do join us. If you're new to the community, please do come back. Please do come back. And I want to ask you to move to the next slide. Who is here for the first time today? Please do acknowledge yourself. If you're still in the space, there's still 35 people here. Who's here for the very first time this morning? Put your name in the chat, raise your hand, unmute, say something. If you're first time on Facebook, please do say in the thread that you're a first timer in the Wake Up Everybody community. Come back, come back, come back. No hit it and quit it, no one and done, come back. So our schedule, what are you coming back to? Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday from 7 to 8:30 a.m. We have sessions in the Zoom space and on Facebook Live. So our 90-minute sessions, that's our schedule for the 90-minute. And then Monday and Wednesday, we have a 30-minute session that rarely lasts 30 minutes, but we have a 30-minute session. That's the structure. And so we're up and running and facilitating and offering light, love, growth, amplification, and ascension from Sunday to Thursday. That's our schedule. And we're off on Fridays and Saturdays, but never really off because you get to apply what you learned throughout the week. So we can go to the next slide. All right. So thank you. Stay in touch. Stay in touch energetically. Let the blood flow out from you and over to us as part of this community. This community is so dope. And as we prepare for next month to celebrate our 1-year anniversary, I just want to say thank you ahead of time for just your awesomeness, your presence, your trusting us with your life stories and your energy and your essence. So if you are new to the community, please register so that you can receive announcements for what we're going to be talking about and doing each week at bit.ly/wake up movement. If you are not on our Facebook page, please join our Facebook community. Be a friendly neighbor in the neighborhood of Facebook by posting, by sharing. And today, I definitely want you to post. Everybody, post in Facebook, separate posts, not on the thread where we have the video, but separate posts about the name you gave your cycle, what you learned today, your struggles with your cycle, because not everybody is like, yay, whatever it is, speak your truth and post so we can have this community be alive and enlivened. So Facebook, bit.ly/woo community, Instagram @Wake Up Everybody Virtual, YouTube, bit.ly/woo on YouTube, yes, and email us if you have suggestions, commentary, testimonies, info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. All right, so I'll hand it over to our main admin, our lead admin, Nija.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Shawnee. Thank you for this conversation, for opening us up to other ways to be and think about the menstrual cycle, about the blood and community. Now it is time to unmute yourselves and thank Shawnee with your voices, sending her energy of gratitude.
Thanks, ladies. Shawnee, especially.
Thank you.
Shawnee
Thank
helped
you so much,
me on
Sister
my
Shawnee, for
personal
this
journey.
conversation.
I love it.
It's so appreciated. Love,
I
love, power.
sharing this
Minister,
inform and important.
thank you.
Love it, love it, love it. Let's move forward, everybody.
LLC and our own
Doing
voice.
her wonderful
Have a great rest of
the day.
Peace and love, everybody. Have an amazing day.
Power.
I love y'all.
And
Have a blessed day, and let's move forward.
celebrate the people when they're on their moon, like in the back.
Power.
Be like, I bought this
Gratitude.
peace and love and namaste. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Veronica, for sharing.
Move forward,
Thank you,
everybody.
Admin.
Thank y'all.
Adam. Thank you,
I
Don.
love
Thank
y'all.
you for the man that's in the space.
Thank you,
Peace,
for your information and take young lady.
Much manifestation to us all.
Family, I love y'all.
Love and
Love
abundance.
y'all. Love y'all. Amazing, amazing, amazing,
Thank you.
amazing. Y'all rock.
Thank you all. Shawnee, God bless you.